keeper. No play burritos. Get to the pesos with amigos. I cannot with no zeros.
Don't you run out? No, I can't show you no love, baby. Yeah, I am a boss in the cut, mayday. Bubbles and
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Tyrod Taylor, the new quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, do battle with Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Moments ago, a scene that's played here since 2004. Big Ben Roethlisberger greeted by this sold-out Heinz Field crowd. His Steelers getting set to match up with the Cleveland Browns. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup. And now they've got a 3rd down and 8. Now the starting lineup here defensively for Pittsburgh. They enter this one number 13, Charles, in the NFL in stopping the run.
They're not an elite unit. They're not, as what you'd say, the top part of the league against the run. They're a solid group, though. They do a good job. What they're looking for in this one, though, is an elite performance.
Taylor on 3rd down, throws incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
44-yard punt, return of 9. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard after the 36.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the...
And look at this. It's a fake. And boy, is he close. Get there. No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. Tackle made by Demarius Randall. It's such a risky play there. Fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Taylor will throw. He's got his man. That's Landry. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns have taken the early lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They go play action with Roethlisberger. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand the ball. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's a former 1,000-yard rusher, it's Stephen Ridley. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. His first catch, good for 16 and a 1st.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They'll run at Stephen Ridley. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd down, Roethlisberger. And that's going to be incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
They'll run forward with Ridley. And the surge is going to be too much defensively. He's hit and taken down to the backfield. So a big play defensively on 4th down as we reach the end of 1. The Browns have the early lead. Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Browns with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 1st and 10 inside their own 20-yard line. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Stephon Tuitt, the one that got him down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Taylor now to throw on 3rd down. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A couple of recent pickups, Taylor finding Landry for the Cleveland 1st down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. Landry, the intended target.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. That'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run with Ridley. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Play action. Now Roethlisberger. Flush to his right. Shakes off the side. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Larry Ogunjobi able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fake.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. And what do you think's going through his head right now? Your team's winning, but you're not having your best game. That probably affects you even when your team is up.
You don't want anyone else to know it, but I think you're right. It bothers a quarterback because they always want to be the one to lead their team to victory with their play as well as their words. And in this case, he's got something he can fall back on. He's contributed, yet at the same time he's thrown an interception. Got to remember the bottom line, though. They're winning. So he knows if he plays better, they might be winning by more.
And it's only the second quarter. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. And it looks like Steeler football. It is. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you give a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And he'll go on the ground. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. And he's got it. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And we are tied at 7. In here as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. Oh, now he bowls him over. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. We get a glance at Duke Johnson as he heads back out onto the field. I think he's still shaking his head a little. It was his fumble on the previous drive that led to the touchdown that has us tied.
And sometimes it's worse on a runner who drops it like that to watch the other team take the ball downfield and score than maybe if they just returned it right away. You know what I mean? Because sometimes what happens that fast, you're right back out on the field. Instead, he had to watch it happen. Let's see if it affects him going forward the rest of the game.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. From the gun, it's Taylor. Throw left side complete. That's Gordon. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. The Browns try to get back and set quickly here. Time ticking away. On 2nd down, Taylor. Escape, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. T.J. Watt coming with pressure. He drops him on the blitz for a loss of 12.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Britton Colquitt now. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Roethlisberger got to get his guys to the line as quick as he can. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. He sets to fire deep. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. T.J. Carey right there in coverage.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. He's got a man. Complete. The 20. 10. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Extra point now by Boswell. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. He juked him. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. This is Carlos Hyde, the former 49er, his first carry. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Final play of the half. It's Taylor. He finds Coleman. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, Week 8 of the NFL season. We'll begin with a bit of a rare matchup. Tampa Bay on the road in Cincinnati. And it's the Buccaneers who are out in front with that game closing in on halftime. Deshaun Jackson, a touchdown reception. From there, it's off to Chicago. Check on the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. 2 touchdown passes there for Mitchell Trubisky. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Alex Collins dancing his way to a couple of touchdown runs. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be taken about the 12. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try to hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Back to the ground. It's Ridley again. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out. The wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Ready. 319. 319.
After the interception, here's Taylor. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 3rd down, Taylor. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. He's going deep for Brown. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big play, Roethlisberger to Brown, 49 yards.
Antonio Brown, AB, with just one hand to complete that catch. Is there anything he can't do?
He has just continued to impress year after year, hasn't he?
He has never forgotten that he wasn't considered an elite receiver coming out of college. I think every snap he takes it upon himself to prove that he should have been.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And inside the 20 before it's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in this area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Hey. Set. 230. Gotta go.
Now Ridley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. And Boswell's kick is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the... And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
On second down, here's Taylor. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. They go play action here on first down. Looking left sideline, incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On second down, Taylor's throw incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He's got his tight end, Njoku. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. Throwing now, Taylor on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Coleman. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now Taylor. That's complete right around the 8. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. The throw by Taylor here, and that's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Taylor. Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns have cut it back within a score. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Tavecchio good on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. Because to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time. Laddie, take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
Set! 180!
Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. He's going to fire one deep. They've got his man complete. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Antonio Brown, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. And there, Charles, he lined up out left, ran the post, caught it over the middle, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And you have to love the scheme that they just showed there, because if you're going to run a deep post, you ordinarily have to get a safety out of the middle of the field. And you do it one of two ways, either by running routes at him that carries him away from it, or you either freeze him in the middle with routes that run underneath so that he doesn't get depth. Then you throw it over the top, and boy, what a successful play that was.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He's going to go for a big play. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Hey, Fred! 230!
This is Ridley. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And the Steelers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Set! 230!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down quick.
Oh, no, he lost the football. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Flag, 32.
2nd and 10. It's Taylor again. Eluding the pressure right. Shifts by him. They find some open field here. And avoids the contact by sliding. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quitting here.
Zero.
And that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw is Taylor. Looking to throw on second down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Taylor on target to Gordon for a Cleveland first. Throwing now is Taylor. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. Now it's Taylor. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Taylor to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside.
They have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. A tough one there. They certainly wanted that when they needed it, but they didn't absolutely have to get it. They still do have 3 timeouts.
You're exactly right. They had to attempt it. But even though they didn't get it, as you noted, with 3 timeouts, if they can get these stops on defense, all hope is not lost.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. The Steelers on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 3. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. And the Steelers on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Pittsburgh, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.